What's up? Happy Wednesday. Welcome back here to the Megan Moves channel. If you've been here before, you know what time of the week it is. But in case you're new here, welcome to the Megan Moves channel. Every week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we do a live stream here. Now, I want to say thank you to everyone for bearing with us. We pushed the live stream back today because I'm very excited. We're going to be chatting about Disney World Resorts, but I needed some help tonight. So I am bringing in one of our very good friends here on the channel that I'm sure you've seen in the chats a lot. We've got our friends Brandon and Tia from the Deuce and Disney channel. Now, Tia will be showing up with us a little bit later. She's going to be fashionably late, and we need her here because she's going to help us figure out how to get the best deals on Disney World Resorts. But very excited to have the Deuce here tonight. I know you guys see him all the time in the chats, and I'm very excited to chat with them, not only about resorts, but to just hear a little bit more from them. So welcome everyone, and welcome Brandon. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing very well. And everybody is really getting hyped up here in the chat. So like usual, we'll go ahead and say hi. And then while we I'll bring on the chats. Brandon, do you want to give like an intro to your guys' channel or just share a little bit of details about you guys?
Sure. As you can see right here, maybe our name is Deuce and Disney. The channel is Deuce and Disney, and we do a lot of vlogging. It seems that lately our channel has been restauranting, snacks, treats, all that kind of stuff, opening all of this junk. But we have started doing a live stream on Sunday evenings at 5 o'clock. And what that has turned into is the weekly Disney news, anything you missed, usually the big stories. We talk about some merchandise that's popped up. This weekend, actually, we're going to be in the parks. So we may be doing merchandise live from the stores and possibly a little bit more. Not sure what we're doing yet, but check out our channel, Deuce and Disney, youtube.com/Deuce and Disney, and then all the subsequent Instagrams and Facebooks and the TikToks and everything like that. So
yeah, absolutely. They're always a huge help in the chats, as I'm sure you guys have seen. But we do have one question from Cat Comedy. Brandon, how many collectibles do you have? Definitely feel free to give a little, so tell what you like to collect and then also give a little synopsis of what Tia likes to collect.
All right. I personally somehow got into pins. And it was just literally it was supposed to be, I want to collect Figment pins. It was supposed to be for a video. And I was like, we're just going to try out this pin thing because I'd seen it. I didn't understand it, didn't get it. And I always saw it in the parks. And I'm just like, okay, well, we're going to go to the Disney Character Warehouse, which is a Disney store, but their discount clearance store, if you don't know what it is. And I bought, they used to sell a bunch of starter packs for like dirt cheap. So I got a bunch of starter packs. They were all, I think they were Peter Pans or something. 4 to a pack, like $3. And I bought like 10 of them. And I went to the park with my friend, and he also wanted to pin trade. So we split it in half, and we just started trading pins. And I learned how to do that, how to spot the fakes, how to spot all the good ones, all the bad ones, all that kind of thing. So it was supposed to just be, I wanted to collect the Figments from that particular year, 2019, which I did in one day. There's a whole story with that. But then I was like, I like that pin too. I like that pin too. And now this. And not to mention, the 50 other frames we got wrapped around the house, and some that are over here that are not up yet. It's snowballed. And whenever people say, should I try pin trading? No, not if you value your bank account. Do not.
Fair enough.
Anyway, okay, so there's that. I do popcorn buckets, which you can see right here and back behind me and over here and all on the floor over there that don't have a shelf yet because they're mostly Christmas. Also Funkos. I try to just do Disney Funkos. Occasionally, like right above me is an Optimus Prime Funko because I like Transformers, and Doctor Who is kind of down here behind my back. But mostly Disney. Mostly Mickey Mouses or Minnie Mouses. Got Walt Disney over here. But, Tia. Tia likes to collect mugs. We collect a pin and a mug and an ornament from every single resort, today's topic, every single resort that we've stayed at. So our tree has lots of resort ornaments, and it also has other ornaments, because that's something else we collect, of like Run Disney races that we've done or other events. Last year at the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, they gave an ornament. It was a really nice one, and so we got that. But that's what our tree is all ornaments. We collect those Disney ornaments, Hallmark ornaments, but they're all Disney.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tia likes to get mugs. She has got, Megan, you've seen her shelf.
Yes.
Mugs.
Yeah.
It's gotten so big that we've had to get another shelf, and then that one filled up, and then we had to get another shelf. And then we built one over our coffee bar, so there's mugs up there, and you've seen those as well.
Yep.
But she also likes Spirit jerseys. And
yes.
She always collects. She likes to collect the T-shirts, pass holder T-shirts or whatever. Mostly the pass holder ones. She usually gets the pass holder shirts. I don't really do the shirts because I'll wear them out in a heartbeat, and I don't want to wear them out. But she takes great care of her stuff. So she does the Spirit jerseys, the T-shirts, and her big collection is Loungeflies.
Yes. She has an amazing collection. Like, as you guys will see when you hop over to their channel, you will see Brandon has his background, and then Tia has her background, and it's a good collection.
Yeah, and she usually collects like she'll do the haunted mansions, and she likes to do some of the the main attractions and cupcakes. She loves her cupcakes. It just kind of all depends on what it is. She looks at it and she knows. She's like,
yep,
I got to have that one.
Yep.
I got to have that one.
Yep.
If I don't get any of these other ones, I want that one right there. So, on my phone, I have a must-have list or things to look for, and we'll decide when we get there. But I have a list on my phone so that when we go, I can just scratch them off as we go.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So there you go, guys. This is what happens when you fall down the Disney rabbit hole. So
yeah.
But it's all fun. So that is what's good. But mainly we wanted to have the Deuce on tonight because I wanted to chat about Disney World Resorts with you guys. Now, I have not stayed at a Disney World resort for a while now, but the Deuce stay there quite frequently whenever they visit. So I'm excited to hear a little bit about their experience staying at resorts. Tia is very good at finding some discounted rates.
And this empty chair will have a girl in it. She's actually on her way home right now.
Yes,
so
I should have said
be
that.
here in just a few minutes. Coming in hot. She's going to have her workout outfit on because she's also a fitness instructor. So she's going to be coming in all hot and sweaty. Maybe she'll change her shirt.
So so we'll have Tia too. So I'm excited. But before Tia gets here, we'll go ahead and just chat a little bit about Disney resorts or why to stay at a resort, and maybe like hear about your guys's experience, if that'd be all right with you and stuff, Brandon. And of course, if anybody has any questions, I know Kitty Kathy did ask one here just really quick. We can put that one up. She was asking if any of the Disney resorts have complimentary breakfasts at all.
I'm sure you could gather the answer from my face. The Disney resorts do not. The Good Neighbor ones may. The ones that are on Disney Springs, I can't remember what those, I think those are official Disney partner resorts or something like that. Completely different from Disney Good Neighbor resorts. So don't get those mixed up. If they're at Disney Springs, they're partner resorts.
Yep.
A lot of those do have complimentary breakfast. We've all stayed at we as in you and I have both stayed at the Drury Inns that are down there, Universal, and they just opened up one at Disney Springs.
Yep.
And the Disney Springs one everything's the same as in what you get. It's just they have different food, but they do offer you a complimentary breakfast and dinner and drinks every night.
Yeah.
So you can talk a lot more on that because you've been there to the Universal one a lot. That seems to be one of your favorite ones. But do any of the actual Disney resorts have complimentary anything? Parking as of recently.
That is
other than that, no, they do not.
Gotcha. And she was saying here, I just scrolled up a little bit. They've not stayed at a Disney World resort, have always stayed off property, but maybe next year they're considering Coronado Springs. but not sure yet. So I know you guys, if you want to share a little bit about Coronado Springs, I don't really have a set lineup of what we want to chat about. So did you want to get into that resort, or what do you think?
Yeah, I can talk about that because she asked about it. Coronado Springs is one of our absolute favorites. If we can't find anything else, and if Tia can find a good deal, which she will talk about when she gets here, if we can find a good deal on Coronado Springs, that's always going to be our go-to one, because they also have it's not the Riviera, it's the, oh God, what's the name of the hotel that they just built? I'm having a brain fart.
Not Riviera?
No, the Riviera is at the Caribbean Beach. You can look that up while I'm talking. They have the new DVC resort right there that they built. So the tower, which is basically where the lobby used to be, that is a fantastic place. There's nice restaurants in there. There's a coffee bar in there. There's breakfast, all that kind of stuff. And we have eaten at all of those places. There's also you can go up to the top, and you can just go up there and you can look out the balcony, and it's fantastic. You can see all of Disney World pretty much from up there.
Yeah.
But they have nice pools. They have hot tubs. The rooms are bigger, obviously. The value resorts are, say, this big. The moderate resorts are this big, and then your deluxe resorts, depending on which one you stay at, can fluctuate. But Coronado Springs, definitely at the top of our favorites for the moderate resorts. I don't really know what to say other than that.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say real quickly, and this goes for all of the moderate resorts, is they all have loops, bus loops. If you want to take the bus, they all have bus loops. So if you are staying at a building, because they're all buildinged out in different sections, the casitas and the this and the that and the other. It's in a big triangle around the lake, which luckily they do have a bridge across now. Grandestino, there you go.
Gotcha. Thank you, Janelle.
They did not used to have this bridge, and you would have to walk around to go get back to the lobby. Or you could, walk to the buses or whatever. If you have a bus stop that's right near your room, but it's at the end of the loop, you're going to wait and wait and wait and wait. It is faster to drive.
Gotcha.
Plus you get free parking in the parks if you're at the resort. So free.
Gotcha.
But that's all moderate resorts. They all have that loop. You could see the bus coming in, and then you won't see it again for like 20 minutes as it stops at every single one of those things, sometimes longer. So just be aware of that when you're trying to time out your thing. We've gotten to the point where we just drive.
Interesting. Okay.
We can get to the parks in like 7 or 8 minutes, or we can stand and wait for 30.
Gotcha. Okay. Disney Lover was saying they're headed to Shades of Green next week, but the parking still costs money. That's interesting.
That's because that's not Disney.
Okay.
That is we'll call that, it's actually run by the Department of Defense. It used to be Disney, and they would kind of just, I think it used to be a golf club, because there's the golf course. It's all around that.
Gotcha.
But then they sold it to the Department of Defense, and now only military and members of their family can stay there. Like you can't even go over there. Like if I walked from, I think it's the Polynesian parking lot.
Yeah.
Over to there. I'm trying to think, because when you do Run Disney, you run like right past it, and then you run past the Polynesian. Tia just got home, by the way. The Shades of Green, like if you go over there, you need to have a reason to be there. Otherwise, they give you the side eye, and they will come up to you and be like, who are you and why are you here? Because again, it's military and it's run by the Department of Defense. You can ask for permission to go there. But I've heard that place is really nice. Everybody I've talked to that has stayed there, there's lots of perks. However, the free parking is not one of them. Think of it as like the Swan and Dolphin. They have a huge parking fee. It's like $25 or $30 a night or something like that. Gotcha. And that is also the same concept. This is just a good neighbor hotel. So,
gotcha. So all good things to know as far as like Disney budget and best place to stay and things like that. But
and for those of you that you said you're staying there, whoever that was that said they were staying there.
Yeah, Kitty Kathy.
they obviously have a family or friend that is in the military and they've been invited there. That's fine. You can't choose to go to Shades of Green. Like Tia and I, we wouldn't be able to go to Shades of Green. So that's just one of those, unless you're in the military or you have a family.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. So we talked, they unfortunately do not have the complimentary breakfast, but could you share some of the like perks or reasons of why staying at a Disney World resort is a good thing as far as going on a Disney World vacation?
Well, one, you don't need your car. You don't need your car. Like I said, we usually take the buses now because it's faster, depending on where you're at. But that's the number one perk, is that you're on property, you're in the Disney bubble.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go anywhere. If you're not going to Universal, you're not going anywhere unless you want to take an Uber or something like that. You are in the Disney bubble. You can just use their transportation. Some of it's better than the others.
Yay!
Tia's here. Oh, let me scoot over a little bit.
Hi, Tia. How are you doing?
Ooh.
Thank you for being here.
There we go. Scooch it on over. There we go. Hey. Okay, so the question is what? Tell me the question. Why stay at a Disney World resort?
Yeah,
what is the benefit of staying on property? Other than transportation is included, you don't need a car. Don't need a car.
I mean, everybody talks about that Disney bubble. It keeps you in that little bubble of Disney. You know, they say welcome home when you come back to your resort every night. I don't know. It has
Sorry if the audio gets all funked up.
Nope, you're good.
I mean, there's some perks. Hello.
Can you hear?
Good. Yep.
Okay. Some perks. I mean, you do have the transportation. We personally have stopped using the buses. However, if you're like Pop or Art of Animation, Skyliner, it's fantastic.
Well, I love the Skyliner.
Yeah.
That seems to be the main perk. Yeah. Okay, so we like staying at the resorts because the people are very friendly, and you just get to stay in the magic. I know that's just kind of a cop-out, but you get to stay in the magic. You get to learn which resorts you like the best, so you can keep going to those. Yeah. Or like Tia, she knows how to find good deals on stuff.
And they're all very themed.
They are.
Especially if you have younger kids, like the All-Stars, Pop, Art of Animation. It's very themed, especially in the courtyards of the different sections. I mean, you've got like this ginormous Mickey telephone.
Right.
I mean, that's cool.
There's also activities that you can do all around the resorts. Actually, all of the resorts have a calendar of events that they do every week. So you can just go and you'll see the board of what's going on today.
And a lot of those events are complimentary. Some of them are extra paid things, like you can like tie-dye shirts. I think at Coronado Springs you can do like a Mickey mosaic thing.
Yes.
And there's also fun and games that you can play, like over at Animal Kingdom Lodge. They have just activities that are themed towards the resort you're at, like obviously Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunts at a lot of them. There's also, be aware that you can do any of these activities even if you're not staying there. So you can, as long as you can find a way to get to the resort without driving, because if you're not staying at that resort, you're not really supposed to park there. They don't really like that because you know, there's limited parking. And people will use that parking and then they'll just stay there and just leave their car. So they've been trying to, crack down on that. But if you can get there, like through the Skyliner or on a bus or something like that, then all of this is open to everyone. But mostly the people that are staying at these resorts have better access to them.
Yeah, Kitty Cathy was just asking too, real quick, about the Skyliner resorts. What resorts are on the route, and which one of those is the cheapest?
Okay, so the butt end of the resort,
Pop Century is the cheapest.
Yes.
On the route,
and that's at the butt end. That and Art of Animation are right next. They share a bridge to the Skyliner. Art of Animation is considered a value resort. The rooms are typically suites, so they're bigger. The rooms are pretty themed. So it's more expensive. When you look at the price of it, you're like, oh my God, that's like a moderate resort or a very expensive moderate resort. But the rooms are also bigger. Sometimes there's an extra bedroom. Actually, I think they all have like a 1-bedroom suite. Plus, you can match them all up to other.
Yeah, I think the only ones at Art of Animation that are not suites are the Little Mermaid themed rooms.
Okay, interesting. Okay,
Pop Century is the cheapest. Then Art of Animation's right there, and like I said, they share a bridge. Then you Skyliner over to Caribbean Beach Resort, and that's a moderate resort. And that's kind of where the Skyliner TTC is, where you can either well, you have to get off. So you get off there, you can either go to Hollywood Studios or you go to Epcot. And then on your way to Epcot, you stop at the Riviera stop, which is kind of the other side of the Caribbean beach. And then you don't have to get off there. You just kind of scoot around. And if you want to get off, you can. And then you go to Epcot, which is the boardwalk and the Yacht Beach Club.
Yep. Gotcha. So there's a lot of resorts on the route, which is nice.
Yeah. So if you can make your way over to the boardwalk or any of those other resorts, or if you're staying at one of those resorts and you want to eat some food or try some treats or go to the shops, you can literally start at one end and stop at all of them and eat and do all this stuff. And then you get all the way to the boardwalk, you get some ice cream, you walk around, do some night clubbing or food, and then hop back on the Skyliner, take it the whole way back, and you've had a whole day.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I know we've done that before. Like we've done, not necessarily night clubbing, but we've been doing some Skyliner or resort hopping and stuff. So like, it is a very fun thing to do, especially if you have like an off day from the park. It's like just a little ride and day in itself, which is fun.
Yeah, and the Skyliner's so fast.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, that's off topic, but the Skyliner is fantastic. Like you get on the Skyliner, except for in the morning, like if you're at Pop Century, you have to stop at the little TTC. And sometimes that line can be long, but it goes fairly quickly. But on a normal time of the day where you're just trying to get where you're going, not the first thing in the morning, not the last thing at night. I mean, you can literally go from Pop Century to the back at Epcot in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. It's nice. But now that we have Tia here, this is probably what people are going to be most excited about, is I wanted to chat about how to find cheaper or more inexpensive Disney World resort stays. So one reason that people might not want to stay at a Disney World resort is because it can be more expensive than off property or other locations. But Tia, how do you usually like to find? Yeah, okay, go ahead and say whatever you were going to say, but how do you usually like to find your resort stays?
We'll get back to that in a second.
I troll the websites a lot, to be honest. Right now, actually, Disney does have a lot of discounts. They've released discounts through the summer, through the fall, Christmas time, and I think maybe even some into 2024. I'm not sure. But if you go to Disney's website and I think there's a little tab at the top that says offers or something like that, check there. They're usually anywhere from 20 to, I think it usually says up to 35% off. Also, if you're a pass holder, you get a certain percentage off most of the dates throughout the year. There are select dates that they're like,
did you say Disney Plus too?
Oh yeah, and sometimes no, I didn't. Disney Plus, will also have a discount. But if you have like multiple of those things, like if you're a pass holder and you have Disney Plus, check both of them and see, because sometimes some resorts will be available like for the Disney Plus one, but not the AP one. And one may be cheaper than the other.
And I've seen Tia use a few times where she'll actually she'll do a resort or a booking for, let's say, 5 nights, right? And the 5 nights I'm throwing numbers out that don't mean anything. Let's say 5 nights is going to be $1,000. But if you split that up and do 2 separate reservations, now it's $700. So you just got to play with the numbers and play with the dates to get a 3-day reservation and a 2-day reservation. And 99% of the time, they'll leave you in the same room, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So always do the math, always fiddle with the dates, always split them up and see if you can get a better price.
Yeah.
Also, if you are a Disney Visa Chase card holder, you can get discounts. They've been running a discount through that like since May, I think, and I think it goes through September 7th, which is how I got a cheaper rate for our upcoming stay at Port Orleans Riverside.
Oh yeah,
was through
nice.
Was through the Visa card discount. I actually found a room for, it sounds very expensive, it's under $200 a night.
But for Disney prices,
what it is, it's a good price
in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
but most people will be like, holy crap, you're still paying $180 a night for a room? Well, I mean, yeah, that is expensive, but when it's normally like $230-ish,
right,
and up.
Yeah. I think you have to look at like where you're staying and what does it usually cost? What time are you going? Like it's all kind of, there's a lot of factors that go into the pricing and like in that regard. This will be very quick, but Kitty Cathy was asking me where I have stayed as far as Disney World places. So I've only actually stayed at 2 Disney World resorts. So I've stayed at Pop Century and All Stars. So that is it. I have not even, my sister, she is a nanny and she went down with the family that she nannies for and they stayed at the Riviera. So I was like super jealous. I was like, really? So I did get to go and hang out at the pool and kind of like stay in the room for a little bit and go on those balconies that you look out and you're just like, I just want to sit there and watch the sunset. So
that's cool.
Did get to kind of like vicariously live through their stay. But I've stayed at the Wyndham Lake Buena Vista, the garden rooms at
That's the one that's right next to the Drury Inn, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's like right next door. Yep. I liked that resort. The only thing I don't like about it is it does have a resort fee. I don't like when, I still don't understand really why hotels, resorts have resort fees. Like just bundle it in the price so I don't
all has to do with what they're paying in taxes and all that kind of thing.
Right.
So they split it up so they get more and they make you pay more if it's considered a fee or if it's considered a tax or a fee of some type. They bill it differently whenever they do their taxes. It's a whole thing.
As a consumer, though, I agree with you.
It's really annoying.
Just put it in the rate.
Yes.
I think right as I was coming in, y'all were talking about Swan and Dolphin having a parking fee. It also has a resort fee on top of the parking fee.
Yes, but you have to understand.
I just looked that up because they released a pass holder discount for Swan and Dolphin.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, well, that would be fun to stay over there. And I was like, nope.
And a lot of times those fees, the parking fees, are sometimes on the website depending on the hotel. The resort fees, if sometimes they're on the website, sometimes you have to call and ask. I always have to call and ask, especially if you're trying to book through a third-party site, Priceline, etc. It's on there sometimes. It's not on there most of the time, or it'll be wrong, or it will be it'll say there's something, but you have to call and ask. Sometimes it won't say anything. So I call and they're like, oh yeah, it's a $30 per night resort fee. Is parking included? Oh no, the parking's on top of that. Okay, so basically I'm paying for 2 nights for 1 night. Right. For parking and resort fee because it's an extra like $90. So you have to just be ready to write the information down and just be ready to call. Usually it's a real quick 3-minute call. Hey, do you have this, this, and this in your room? Free Wi-Fi? Do you have any breakfast? Do you have a resort fee? Yeah, the resort fee is $30 a night. Oh, do you have parking fee? Yeah, the parking fee is $25 a night. Okay, thank you very much. And I write it down and I go to the next one. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's a good thing to look out for as far as like the good neighbor off property hotels kind of go. But
and a lot of them have a resort fee and or a parking fee.
The Drury Inn one doesn't have a resort fee, but it does have a parking fee. But the one up near Universal has neither. I would love to stay at the Drury at Disney Springs. That might have to be an upcoming
stay that we do, but
and
other
they
than
have
that,
pancakes. They have pancakes.
the
We
pancakes.
love that one. It's
Yeah.
it's really nice. But lately
It's been really expensive.
with the addition, because we always drive, and with the addition of the parking fee, it makes it more expensive than staying on property.
Right. Yeah, definitely. No, I agree with that. Yeah. So we'll have to see. Maybe that'll be a future stay. But other than that, we do Airbnbs a lot. So we found these really good little Airbnbs that are like 10 minutes from Disney World. You do have to have a car unless you want to pay the Ubering fees, but we've kind of done all the things as far as Disney World stays have gone. But I would like to stay at some of the nicer Disney World resorts one of these days. So, but we'll see.
Really quickly, I keep seeing this popping up over here.
Yeah.
What is the cheapest resorts? And I saw somebody up here earlier asking about what is. It might have been Kitty Cathy, I'm not sure, but they were asking about what kind of prices are we looking at, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For on-property pricing. It depends on the season. It does. Yeah. It depends on the season. I know that last year we went down. Your Zumba convention was like at the beginning / like second week of August. Is that right?
Yeah.
And we just happened to book the hotel, and it was. You looked at that and you looked at the park prices, and all of a sudden they were dirt cheap. I don't remember where we stayed last year, but
French Quarter.
Oh, that's right. Well, that place was fantastic. But the price was really good.
Yeah.
That week, and we were like, okay, well, we can stay at the French Quarter, which doesn't sound like it's the nicer of the two Port Orleans. It is the nicer of the two. It is just fantastic. I always want to stay there from now on. And but it was such a good price, and I was like, well, we'll pay a little bit more for that, because you could stay at Coronado Springs for this much, or you could stay at All Star for this much, but all the prices were just super low. So it depends on the season.
Yeah.
Typically, I mean, your All Stars are going to be your cheapest, no matter the season, and usually the cheapest of those is sports.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It's interesting that All-Star Sports, Music, and Movies do have different prices. I mean, sometimes they're the same.
Yeah.
Most of the time, sports is the cheapest.
Yeah, music and movies is usually within, like, I don't know, $5 or so. And then sports is usually somewhere maybe around like $10 to $20 cheaper than those.
But understand that movies and music are completely renovated.
I think so. Sports is not, which may be...
Which is probably why they're the price, because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Right.
You get what you get, type of thing. So when I say renovated, I mean they've got the Murphy bed, they've got the hardwood floors, they got the new bathroom, and they got the gigantic TVs. We're talking like 60-inch TVs. So, but if you get a crappy old room, then it's carpeted floors that smell like mildew. You have a bed that kind of sinks in the middle. The TV's like the size of a computer monitor. So that's what you're getting when you go to sports. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You can request, but that means nothing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're in the process of the refurb. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's stalled at some point, and they just haven't gotten back to it. So half of it's done, half of it's not. But
Gotcha.
All of Pop Century's refurbed. I believe that all of Art of Animation is now refurbed, and they've been doing refurbs on a lot of other things too. So.
Wow, yeah, that is pretty crazy though. Okay, yeah. So I think that's all good things to think about whenever it comes to finding a resort or finding cheaper stays and stuff. I did have different categories of like your personal stays, but I think I just want to, for maybe the sake of time, yes, go ahead.
We actually made a list of all the resorts that we stayed at.
Okay,
I didn't realize until we made this list how many we had actually stayed at. Apparently, we have stayed at all of the value and all of the moderate resorts, which is All-Star Movies, Sports, Music, Pop, Art of Animation, Port Orleans, Riverside and French Quarter, Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs. We stayed in the cabins at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, fun.
And we've also stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village, Saratoga Springs, the Boardwalk, Old Key West, and the Polynesian.
Wow. So there you go, guys.
The deluxe resorts that we stayed at, those last like 4 or 5 that she mentioned, that's when we get into How did you book that?
Yes.
DVC Rentals.
First, we are not DVC members.
Absolutely not.
You don't have to be DVC members.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Tia, if you don't mind sharing like what that is for people who might not know about the sites or like what it is in general, if you wouldn't mind sharing some of those details.
Yeah. So there are some websites, some companies that for DVC members that for whatever reason can't use or don't want to use their points, you can rent their points from them. Or most of them have what they call confirmed reservations. They are what they are. Like the DVC member booked it and then something came up and they're like, oh, I can't make this, but I don't want to, lose all my money or whatever. So they'll rent it out. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot change it in any way. Dates, place, nothing. You have to pay it all up front,
Okay.
and it is non-refundable.
Wow. Okay.
And
gotcha.
that seems to be the way for all of the sites that I've used.
To be clear, these sites, they are, we'll call them approved by Disney, some of the travel agents, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're all
Disney works
sites.
with Disney works with these sites. Sort of. I mean, they approve of the sites. They don't work with them. These are independent sites, but we've used, I think, all of them, right?
No, there's 4 that I kind of troll, but we've only actually used 2. We've used the DVC rental store and the DVC shops.
Gotcha.
And so far, I've only done the confirmed reservation. We've never actually rented the points before. I troll the sites. I go in and usually I'll sort it by price because that's a lot of times that's how we decide when we're going is, okay, well, what's the cheapest? I found one last week for 2 nights in September. I was just playing around and I usually sort it by price. And, I look for anything that's usually like $200, under $200 a night. And I found one for Old Key West. It was like $190 a night.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, those dates happen to work for us.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We've also found them for cheaper. Granted,
Yes.
that was sort of in and around the world ending a few years ago.
Oh, man.
But
After COVID. Whew, those were great. I think we stayed at Animal Kingdom
Lodge.
We found
the
one for
Boardwalk, Polynesian.
$120 a night at Animal Kingdom right after COVID. It was great.
That is amazing.
But most everything's open back up and back to normal.
But still, the pricing though, when you're considering a room can cost you $500 or $600 a night, and you're getting it for 2, that's a good deal. Especially if it's a place where you've always wanted to stay there. We always wanted to stay at the Boardwalk.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she found one night here, one night there, and I think they were just one night.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one, it was just a nice room, corner room. We had a pool view, but it was mostly a tree view.
Okay.
But then we went the second time and they screwed up. FYI, you ever stay at the Boardwalk, you're always going to check in late.
Okay.
Every time. Your check-in's at 4, 6:37, you might get your room. Just be aware of that.
Good to know.
So,
okay.
The second time we were there and we were like, well, maybe we could get an early check-in or whatever. So we were there a little early, and then 4 o'clock rolls around, 5 o'clock rolls around, 5:30 rolls around. And I finally go up to the desk and I'm like, we're like sitting here with our luggage. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so we actually got upgraded to it's like a one-bedroom suite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic. For, the price that we paid, which I don't remember what it was, but it was under $200.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I always try to go 200 or less. That's just my personal per night budget. I'm sorry. I have to look at these comments. They're talking about the creepy chairs in the lobby of the Boardwalk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have sat in those chairs.
What are these chairs?
I have a picture of it.
We'll have to show you a picture.
Okay.
They're like these really teeny little chairs.
They're antiques.
And they look like a person. And one has like a flower around their head. They're terrifying.
They are just horrendous. But they look like children's chairs. They're so little, but they're made of metal. They're like solid metal. and they are the creepiest thing.
And
think Annabelle,
they
but
are
a chair.
They are what nightmares are made of.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, yes.
Oh, she looked it up. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they have them. Yeah. Sometimes they have them in the lobby. Sometimes they move them next to the fireplace. I've seen them in the breezeway when you're coming in from the parking lot. So it just kind of depends on the season.
I think most of the time they're kind of over by the fireplace. Excuse me,
Yeah, that's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Yeah, that's
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there you go. You learn something new every stream. So oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But yeah, all good things about the DVC rental store or the different sites, and just good things to know about it, and that it's another option.
Yeah, just try it out. Go troll them. I gave you the links so that you can share those wherever.
Yeah.
We do not get paid by any of those. We just use them.
Yeah.
But if you want to give us a free room, DVC
but yes, if you want a promo.
I will say when you do the confirmed reservations, you might see it, but you kind of have to
bid.
We'll say bid for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Like I filled out all of the application for the Old Key West one we have coming up, well, in September. And you fill out all your information, you go ahead and you pay, but they don't charge you until they confirm it with the DVC member. And if somebody put their bid or application in before you, then they'll get it first. So just because you see it doesn't mean you have it until it is confirmed with the DVC member.
And then they send it to your email and they go, you got it. Okay, now what happens after that though?
Once it's confirmed, you get an email saying, hey, your resort reservation has been confirmed, and they'll give you a confirmation number, and you just copy and paste that confirmation number into your My Disney experience. You link your hotel and it pops right in, and it's just like you made the reservation.
Nice.
yourself.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. All good things to know. That's perfect. Yeah, I'll have to check that out and stuff, because I know you guys have used it. I've heard a lot of other people use it and stuff. So I think it's good too if you're flexible with when you're visiting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And like I said, we've never done the points rentals, so that's more if I'm going this day to this day. I think that's better. But if you're really flexible and you're like us, you want to kind of judge it by price. I like the confirmed reservations, but you have to check those a lot. Like a lot of them, especially the really good ones, they'll cycle really fast. For example, today I checked it twice. I checked, I think it was a DVC rental store, somewhere around like 9:30 this morning. There wasn't anything like super great. But I checked it after lunch, and there was an Animal Kingdom Lodge, 2 nights for like $390 something.
Wow.
So I was like, oh man, that was really good.
I need to hop on that one.
Too bad those dates aren't really good for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a random Tuesday and Wednesday night.
Sorry, I was reading. Were you talking about the contemporary one?
No.
Oh. She saw one for the contemporary one time. It was the contemporary, the DVC side of the contemporary.
Oh yeah, Bay Lake.
Oh, Bay Lake.
And she said, do you want to go? It was like a Tuesday and a Wednesday in the middle of like one random month or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm just joking. We're not going. But it was like $110 or $20 a night for like 2 or 3 nights.
Wow.
I was so sad that we couldn't go. Because my bucket list is to stay at every single Disney resort.
Right.
So.
Oh my gosh, that would have been perfect. That's awesome. Kitty Cathy had a question that I like here. As adults traveling without kiddos, what would be our top resort picks? Which I think is perfect for you guys.
I mean, I know which ones are our favorites.
Well, I mean, all of them have children. Sorry for those of you that have children. We chose not to. So I would steer clear of the All-Stars for sure.
Yeah, that's just kids. Kids, loud, usually sports teams or groups or whatever, that's where they go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're very loud.
Yeah.
I would aim for more of the moderate deluxe.
Now, are you looking for a specific resort?
I think the Polynesian was one of our favorites.
Yeah, those rooms were gigantic.
Now
and
that one is pricey.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was fantastic because they have they have the bungalows on the water.
Yes.
We're talking a couple of mortgage payments per night.
Yeah, that would take like us filling up that room and all of us paying like $1,000.
But we stayed in a normal Polynesian room, and I just loved it. I loved it.
I would love to stay there. Yes.
Yeah.
Slightly more affordable. Saratoga Springs, we really like.
Oh yeah. I do like that one.
Really nice. And it's within walking distance of Disney Springs. So.
And even slightly more affordable, Coronado Springs.
Yeah. I think I told them that earlier, that Coronado was always our go-to.
Oh yeah. I was yelling at the phone on my way here, Grandestino.
Oh, okay.
Somebody put that up there, so we got it. Grandestino.
Yep.
I was just having a brain fart.
So yeah, I think they were thinking about Coronado, but it's nice. I do like the Saratoga Springs and the Polynesian as options.
Oh, really quickly, you have the option of buying a resort refillable mug. I'm just throwing this out there.
Okay.
At the resorts, you don't even have to stay on property. You can just buy a resort refillable mug, and it's good for 15 days or something, 20 days or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So you can go down there. You can not even stay on property. You can get a resort refillable mug. And if you know you're going to be resort hopping, get your resort refillable mug, because it's probably going to end up being cheaper than going to all these resorts and buying drinks at all of them. I know at the Polynesian, you can fill up your cup 2 times, and it usually ends up being like 1.5. And most of the time you just have to go to the counter and say it's screwed up, and they'll just give you another one. Or instead of paying $4 or $5 for that, pay, $18 to $20 for the resort refillable mug.
Okay.
And just get one of those, and everybody can drink on it. Yeah. And you don't have to pay so much for drinks. Now, I told you that story to tell you this one.
Okay.
We stayed at the French Quarter, and we were lucky. We actually stayed almost right next to the lobby area. So that's where all the dining and the resort refillable stuff is. And we're talking 2 or 3 in the morning, just walk right in the door, refill your mug, go back to your room. It was a 5-minute trip. Well, then we stayed there for 2 or 3 nights. Then we went over to Coronado Springs. Did not have the same experience there at what was it? 10:30 or
10
11?
or 11, whenever the food court closed.
Yeah, they lock it up.
Oh.
So you don't have access to the resort refillable mug.
Okay.
Whatever. But, most people are getting back from the parks at 11, sometimes later, if you took a bus or whatever. You could be getting back to the resort at 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and $21.99. Thank you.
Yep.
So, I mean, it depends on when you get back. But you can get the resort refillable mug, even if you're not a resort guest. If you just want to go buy one, you can use it for 15 to 20 days. I don't remember how much it is.
Yeah.
So, or how long it is. But it'll tell you every time you put it on the thing, it'll tell you how many days you have left. So that is an option that you can get while you're there. If you didn't get, it used to be part of the dining package. If you didn't get the dining package, you can still get the resort refillable mug. A lot of people don't understand that. Okay. If you're not a resort guest, if you live in town and you just want to go get free drinks for 2 weeks, go get your resort refillable mug, leave Epcot, because you're probably an annual pass holder if you're local. Leave Epcot, go fill it up, walk back into Epcot.
There you go. Yeah. Kitty Cathy is also wondering, is mousekeeping back?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. That is nice.
I don't think it's every day. It's
I think it's every other day.
Yeah, I think they said it's every other day, but if you need to be clean, just let us know. And then they'll supply you anything you need throughout. But yeah, it's every other day.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's nice. I did want to ask you guys in my list. Okay, I'll ask these 2 questions and we can kind of finish on these. So, do you have a best Disney World resort or your favorite place that you have stayed?
Yes.
The Polynesian.
Okay, yeah.
that room was really nice, and it had 2 bathrooms.
It did. Like
That
one
room
was the
was
full
huge.
sink, toilet, tub, and it was a giant room, and then the other one was a sink and a walk-in shower.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I really enjoyed the boardwalk. We've only ever gotten to stay there for one night at a time. I really wish we had multiple nights for that night that we had gotten comped the upgrade.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
But I really like that one because it's right next to Epcot. You can literally walk out the door and go to Epcot. Plus, there's all the stuff right there. Yep. The Polynesian is right next to the Magic Kingdom-ish. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can walk over to the TTC and go, or you can walk the whole way around. So there is a walking path now. But I love the Polynesian. It was great.
I would love to stay there.
Just stay there every time. I would.
Just the whole, just the vibe of that resort.
Yeah.
It's cool. You can go sit out on the beach, watch the fireworks.
We have a video. We have a video. I keep seeing Obsessed Rangers fan. I'm not sure what he's talking about. He says that's an awesome room.
Maybe
we have a video from a few years ago. It was probably 2020 or something like that, and it's our room tour of the Polynesian. Tia literally runs from the screen door all the way to the back of the room. It is such a long room.
That's crazy.
Going, it's huge, and that's like for the their classic rooms. That is the standard room.
Wow.
I'm sure the DVC rooms will be like all-star rooms now because they're teeny tiny.
Right.
Like I found that all of the actual DVC resort rooms that they're building, all the rooms are small. The lobbies are teeny tiny. So I don't get it really, but
Brandon's anti-DVC.
I know he is.
I don't understand. You're paying so much money, but then they give you this crap little room and a crap little lobby that, okay, I know you've done the scavenger hunt over at the Wilderness Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into the Wilderness Lodge and it is a lodge, right?
Right.
Then you go to the DVC side and you walk in the door and you kind of got to walk sideways because it's so little.
Yes, it is very different.
And it's the same thing over at the Contemporary, and it's the same thing over at most of I think the Grand Destino Tower is like the only one where you walk in and the lobby's gigantic.
Gotcha. I still have not been to that. I haven't been to Coronado either yet, now that I think about it. Which leads me to a question. What's that?
You got to just go to get the coffee.
Go to get the coffee. I'll add that to the food.
What is the name of the coffee?
The Cafe Bonbon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta go in the morning because it closes by noon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I think they open up later on, don't they? Or is that for something else? No. Okay.
I have like a running food list, so that will have to be added to it. So
got you.
But so I would if I stayed at a Disney World resort, I like to have options for transportation. Like I like, staying on the Skyliner route, you have the Skyliner or the buses or monorail or the buses. How do you feel about with Coronado and Animal Kingdom Lodge? Did you find it was an issue just having the buses as transportation? Does that? Oh, well, I guess you guys drove.
Well,
we do drive.
We do drive now, but we in the past always took the transportation. I already explained the whole, at the moderate resorts, there's the loop.
Yeah.
And you have to wait a long time, and your bus might not be the bus that's coming. So it might be somebody else's bus. So you just have to learn which ones you can get on and hop from somewhere to somewhere if you just want to get on a bus and go.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Epcot bus. Well, I'll just hop on the Epcot bus, get on the monorail, go to the Magic Kingdom.
Gotcha.
So you just got to figure out how to work that if they're, because those buses can take for freaking ever.
Yeah.
That's my only problem with the moderate resorts is there's that loop and it takes forever.
I gotcha.
It's not like at the all-star resorts where you go to the alcove that is the Magic Kingdom or the alcove that is Epcot or the alcove that is Animal Kingdom. You can wait in those lines and a bus will come. You just kind of wait. You see, a bus is coming. That's not mine. Oh, a bus is coming. That's still not mine. So you wait a long time. The Skyliner and monorail transportation, great. I hope that they move the Skyliner to all the resorts.
That would be amazing.
All the parks. That would be the best thing ever.
That would be so cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with that. Katie Cathy was asking too, is the Wilderness Lodge one of the few Disney resorts where you can bring your dog? Wait, the Wilderness Lodge.
I know there's a list. I don't know how many resorts.
Port Orleans Riverside has pets. There's specific rooms. So if you are a person that doesn't want pets, well, one, make sure you tell them, you don't want pets, so they don't accidentally put you in one of those rooms. But all the pet rooms are pet rooms. So you're not going to, if there's a building or a bunch of rooms that are not pet rooms, they're not going to make them pet rooms for one person.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, I would say there's probably at least, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5.
Does it range from value all the way to deluxe, or is it just like the moderate resorts?
I can't remember.
I think it's either moderate or deluxe. I want to say like
I know some of the
Old Key
moderates.
West or I don't know. I would check the Disney website.
Yeah, the Disney website will tell you. Like, you can literally go to the search and just type in pet friendly, and it'll probably pop up a list of the ones you can stay at.
Yeah, definitely.
It is more expensive because you have to pay the pet fee and all that kind of stuff. So understand that going in.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. And then last thing I wanted to ask you guys, did you have like a worst Disney resort or like your least favorite that you've stayed at? Or has everything been pretty good with your stays?
Lately, when we first started staying at resorts,
I mean, here and there you get sort of
it's just kind of a
less than experience, but also it's like you're going to Disney, and Disney has pretty good customer service. So you're used to here, and when it's lower than there, you're like
what's going on?
Yeah. Yep.
But things are usually corrected very quickly. I think there was one time we stayed at Coronado, actually. We had maybe checked in just long enough to put our stuff down, left, came back, and it was late. It was like midnight.
Right.
And we go to take a shower and turn on the hot water. The water never got hot. Like there was no hot water, and it's midnight, and I've been sweating, and all I want to do is take a shower and go to bed.
Yeah.
So that was not a stellar experience. However,
Brandon was Brandon. He called.
Was remedied.
And within like 30 minutes, they got us a new room, and this was during COVID, so it was a new room in a building that they hadn't even started using yet.
Oh yeah,
so
we were like the only people in this building.
We were the only people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they gave us a corner room, which was great because corner rooms are wonderful.
Yeah.
And it was like 1 a.m. at this point, and we went into this room. They hadn't even turned the air on yet, so when we walked in, I could hear the air just starting up. So it's kind of muggy in there. But that was one of the only. I mean, we've had other situations like the water, but that was. They took care of it.
Yeah.
It was just late. And there's been other experiences. Like it was actually at Coronado Springs because we stay there a lot. But they used to give you the free, the magic bands.
Oh yeah.
We had bought some specific ones, I think. And when we went there to pick them up, because we checked in a little bit late, they had already gotten rid of them. Like they literally sent them back to wherever they came from, and then they mailed them to our house. So luckily we bring extra magic bands, but we didn't get our magic bands.
Yep.
Because we were an hour after the check-in time, and they were like, sorry, they're gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really? Well, if I was here and this was my one trip for however long, and that's what you did because I checked in an hour late because we got stuck on the road.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally there are situations that could happen anywhere, but Disney is usually really good about fixing the situation, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, that all makes sense. Well, yeah, I'd say this was all really helpful info in choosing a resort or things to know before booking a stay at a Disney World resort. Did you anybody in the comments or Deuce, did you guys have any final thoughts or anything that we kind of didn't touch on or anything? I think it was all very good chat though.
Staying on property is really fun. There are sometimes, I wanted to get back to this real quick because I saw it fly up there about a half hour ago. If you stay on property, if you stay off property, just because you're off property doesn't mean it's going to be cheaper than what you could get on property. So just be aware of that. Do your research, look, mess with the dates. If you really want to stay on property, but over here is like $10 cheaper a night, stay on property. Pay the extra $10 and stay on property, because chances are that $10 less per night, you're going to be doing a resort fee, you're going to be doing parking fees, so it's actually going to be more expensive.
Yep.
So just make sure that you're doing your research. That is the one piece of advice I can give to everybody. Do your research. If you're planning, this once in a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year trip, spend some time on the website, spend some time on Priceline, spend some time on all the sites, and spend some time on going to the particular hotels' websites, and just put a spreadsheet together. Do the math, make sure you're getting the best deal. Like I said before, Tia will sometimes split up the reservation into 2 separate 3-night, 2-night, or a 2-night and a 1-night, and it ends up being just ridiculously cheaper. So just do stuff like that. Play with it. You can do that.
And with that research, if your dates are flexible, check what events are going on at the parks, at the resorts.
Oh yeah.
Not just holidays. There's
Run Disney.
I think it's just
I think
okay, good.
You're good.
It's like black.
Screensaver.
Obviously, holidays are going to be more crowded, usually more expensive.
Run Disney.
Events, cheerleading events. So
cheerleading
events. Stay clear of an all-star resort.
Yeah, I got you there. Yep, totally. I always forget the Run Disney weekend. That was like when I was down in February. I went down like during the Run Disney weekend. I'm like, man, sometimes I don't listen to my own tips. So yes, check what's going on when you're planning on going. I like that. Definitely. Well, thank you, Deuce, for being here, and thank you everyone in the chat for chatting it up and asking questions. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Deuce, thank you so much for all of your Disney World Resort expertise. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
And remember, we're doing our live stream on Sundays at 5 p.m.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I have their channel in the description bar below, and I'll put it in the pinned comment whenever we are off of here. But they are Deuce and Disney, so feel free to go and check them out after I was going to try to bring your name back up here. Let me see. They are Deuce and Disney, so feel free to go check them out afterwards. They've got their resort tours, their room tours, their collectible unboxings and everything. So if you guys want to see more of that, you know where to go. For sure. Well, thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in tonight.
Thanks.
And we'll chat with you guys next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. We'll see ya.